SatNaving Life is proudly sponsored by Pro Training Courses, a top health and safety provider offering everything from mental health first aid response to resilience and breathwork training, and other health and safety training courses like Safe Pass, fire safety, and manual handling. They tailor programs for corporate businesses, schools, community centres, sports facilities, students, teachers, and the Gardaí. No one is excluded. On site or online, they bring expert training to you. Visit www.protrainingcourses.com or contact the office 047 88598. Imagine enjoying a warm summer's day at the lake when in a split second everything changes. Whilst swimming, you notice a young person disappearing beneath the water. You're not completely certain of what exactly is happening, but something inside you tells you that he is in a lot of trouble. For Dzintra, that became a reality on the 25th of May. An ordinary swim in Loch in Monaghan turned into an emergency that she will never forget. In this episode of SatNaving Life, Dzintra shares how an ordinary swim became a race against time when she spotted the teenage boy in difficulty. She talks about raising the alarm, performing CPR alongside fellow rescuer Johnny, and the lasting emotional impact of helping to save a life. My name is Carol McGirl. I'm a qualified nurse and health and safety trainer. I sit down with people who share valuable life experiences, giving us a glimpse of how they navigate life's most challenging moments with courage, honesty, and hope. Together, we explore topics around physical and mental health, resilience, first response, and recovery, while discovering the lessons that can help us support ourselves and those around us when life takes an unexpected turn.
Oh, his lips were blue. His head was kind of flapping around, and I remember asking someone who was in the water closer to shore. I said, "Can you please hold his head?" Because I didn't want him to do any damage while the head is flapping. And then as we got closer to the shore, he started getting heavier. In my head, he was gone. He was dead. So I just said, "Look, we have to do whatever we can to bring him back, whatever it takes." When ambulance arrived, when they were putting patches on, I was holding him and I was praying in my head, "Please pull yourself through." But when I was holding his hand, I just said to myself, that hand is alive. I don't know, but it was not that person's hand.
In this conversation, Dzintra reflects on the instinct that told her something was wrong, the importance of water safety and CPR training, and the teamwork that gave one person the best possible chance of survival. I'm here today on this episode of SatNaving Life with Dzintra. On the 25th of May, Dzintra was first at a scene of an event where her life-saving skills changed the whole outcome of what could have occurred that day. Dzintra, when did we first meet actually? Probably like 10 years ago.
I'd say 10, yeah.
Yeah, and it was on a first aid course.
Yeah, it was courses.
Yes, it was all through courses, first aid training. Okay, so I met Dzintra a long time ago, and she's a local lady here in Monaghan, and she's just going to talk to us about her experience that day and what happened on the 25th of May. So, Dzintra, tell me a little bit about you first.
Well, my name is Dzintra. I'm from Latvia originally. I have been living in Ireland for 22 years.
What brought you to Ireland?
Work.
Okay.
Yeah, I intended to come for 1 year only and then return, but I stayed.
Okay, did you come alone?
My friend was living in Ireland. She got me a job, but I was alone. It was tough. Yeah. But after a while, I met my now husband, and I kind of settled here.
He's Irish.
He is Irish, yes.
Okay.
He was my teacher. Like, he taught me English because when I came to Ireland, I didn't speak English at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
so-
good. So, tell us about the 25th of May.
So I am a member of Emmy Loch Dippers, and I swim. Me and my friend, we love swimming. Where other women did, we swim. And it was a beautiful day, Monday. And I rang my friend after work, said, will we go to the lake a little bit earlier today? Because we usually meet at 7. So, and this was before 5 o'clock.
Thank
And
God.
a friend of mine said, yeah, why not? So when we arrived, we parked our cars. I could hear that the beach was busy.
Yes.
Lots of shouting and laughing and children having fun. Like, I used to love that sound, and I knew it's going to be busy. So we
Yeah.
took our floaties and we went to the lake.
And just so people can get a visual, Emmy Loch, it's a man-made beach there.
Well, there's a man-made beach, and it is really a water reservoir.
Yeah.
It's not a swimming lake, really, even though we do swim, but it's, yeah, that's our drinking water.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we parked, we went to the beach. It was very busy. Like, you wouldn't know where to set your towel and floaty to, undress. But we just set our clothes beside the group of young people
Yes.
and went in to swim.
Mm-hmm.
And as my friend and I were swimming, I seen 2 boys swimming really fast towards the box. There is a box. And
Okay. Like a fox kind of floating the lake. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So we were swimming, and I said, look, they are swimming so fast to the box, like they were literally flying, like the speed of them.
Okay.
And it was 2 boys, I noticed. And then we just kept swimming and chatting. And then I looked to the side, and I seen one of the lads turning back, and the other guy continued swim to the box. Again, we kept swimming, chatting. And then my attention was drawn to a point in the water where I didn't know what was happening, but I thought something is not right.
Okay.
A guy who looked to be in a difficulty.
What made you think he was in difficulty?
I seen him going under the water in a funny way.
Okay. This is the guy who had been left by his friend who was swimming out to the box.
No, actually, the guy who turned back.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And so, and he was going under the water. And usually, when somebody's diving or playing, that's not the way they go. It looked strange to me.
Yes.
Then I said to my friend, something is wrong. Let's go towards them. I started to shout help.
Okay.
And yeah, we started to swim there. When we weren't too far from them, the guy who was beside the boy who was in difficulty, he said, oh, he's gone.
He's gone under the water.
He was gone under water, yeah, but we were shouting help.
Okay.
I wasn't sure exactly if he was in difficulty. I just shouted, and I said to myself, if it is not true, people will think I'm not wise. But I kept shouting. And as we came closer, this other man shouted, help. But I don't know. I think he was scared of what he was seeing. By the time we got there, he was gone. He was gone, and a few other people had come into the water. Maybe they were in the water at the time too, but I kept focusing on the spot where this guy was under the water. So we started looking for him. I tried to dive in and see, but the water was so dirty because people were searching for him.
And who had come in to help?
Well, there were a few young ones, but I didn't see.
And
I heard noises, but I didn't see. I just kept focusing on that spot. But I heard after that there were few young men from a local school. And so I opened my eyes in the water. You could see nothing. It was just like nearly like mud.
So you were kind of zoned into the spot where you had seen him gone down.
Yeah, I didn't go where I couldn't stand because I was still out of breath. I had to swim quite distance to get there. A girl beside me, she had goggles. I said, can you give me goggles? I'll try to, look for him. So she gives me her goggles. I put them on, but because I was out of breath, I couldn't stay underwater long enough. So, and then somebody shouted, he's under my feet.
Okay.
So another person dived in.
Oh my God.
And I think he kind of caught him, but the guy slipped away. So again, he was gone. So we were there, I don't know, good maybe 2-3 minutes looking for him.
Okay.
And eventually, somebody said, he's under my feet. And another guy dived in and he grabbed him. He lifted him to the surface. And me and another swimmer, Johnny, we grabbed him under his arms from each side.
Yes.
And we kind of tried to get him out. We ran as much as we could in the water, carrying him. And the boy's head was dangling or
flopping back.
Yeah, and I was thinking he's going to hurt his neck.
Yes.
And I asked someone to come and stabilize his head.
As you were carrying him out?
Yeah, and as we got closer to the shore, again, I said to someone who was behind us, please grab his legs, he's getting heavy. Because, a person who is unconscious, there is a dead weight, so very heavy. Yeah, so somebody grabbed his legs and we pulled him to the shore, set him on the grass. But before that, while he was still under the water, I shouted to people who were at the beach, please call an ambulance. So yeah, once he was lying on the ground, me and Johnny, we started performing CPR. And we continued until ambulance arrived. Yeah, we were taking turns. It's not easy to do CPR.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was going through your head at this time, Dzintra?
Oh, I can't remember that anything was going through my head. I just knew that I have to start CPR.
Was there any doubt?
No, I had no doubt because he was under the water for at least 5 minutes. And I know this because I know how long it takes me to swim to the point where he was drowning and then the time searching for him. So definitely 5 minutes.
Yes. And you had training in first aid and Johnny as well?
Yes. And when you mentioned, did I have any doubt? I didn't have doubt for another reason, because when we lifted him out, his lips were blue.
Yes. He was unresponsive and he wasn't breathing for sure, being under the water for a time. So you started CPR?
I was totally zoomed into CPR.
Yes. Had the crowd stood back?
I believe people were standing back.
Good.
It was a traumatic scene. Like there were young children there and teenagers. So it's not nice.
Okay. And then what was the first realization that help was coming?
Someone phoned an ambulance, and a friend of mine, actually, she was holding the phone while person in emergency services, they were trying to talk to us.
Yes.
They kept asking, what's this person doing? Is he breathing? We kept concentrating on CPR. I knew that needs to be consistent.
Yes.
You have to do the decompressions, and they cannot be too quick or too slow.
You have to push hard, push fast, allow total recoil, the correct depth, the correct rate.
Exactly.
Hands in the correct position.
Then the person on the phone, I just remember she said the ambulance is 7 minutes away. And then after a while, I remember her saying that the ambulance is 4 minutes away.
Oh my God.
And then the ambulance arrived and they asked us, are you okay to continue until we set up? And I said, yes, we are. And we continued compressions.
And had a defib arrived at this time prior to the arrival of the ambulance?
Someone went to get a defibrillator, but we don't have one at the beach.
Okay.
Someone had to go to Emmyvale to get it.
Okay.
But the ambulance used their own.
So ambulance at this point then, they take over. And were you thinking that the outcome was going to be good, it was going to be bad? What were your feelings?
At that point, I was just saying, praying, please go through this to him.
Yes.
Just thinking, please survive,
Yes. And was there any point where you had hope?
When Johnny was doing compressions, I tried to feel his pulse. And at one stage, I could feel very, very weak, still pulse.
Yes.
That's when I thought that he might be okay. And then when we were doing compressions, he was bringing water up.
Okay.
He was gasping.
Yeah.
He was gasping
The
too.
third sign of that. Yeah.
Yeah. But then when the ambulance came, I said to myself, that's it, he's in good care now.
Yeah.
I held his hand. And when I was holding his hand, it was cold, but not very, very cold. And I had this feeling that I'm holding a live person's hand. It was not a dead person's hand. And I just held it and I said to myself, you must live, you must live. Yeah. And I knew he will live because while we were doing compressions, his lips changed back to normal color.
Okay.
So I thought that's a good sign too.
So paramedics are taking over.
Yeah. They helped to put him onto a stretcher and they put him into an ambulance. And also I heard helicopter coming.
Okay.
Helicopter had to land onto a local football field.
Okay.
Ambulance took him there and they had to stabilize him before they take off. It took them a good hour before they took off because I live locally and I seen them leaving even from my home, yeah.
Okay. So the paramedics have taken over. What was going on at the scene then?
The guards were there, they were taking our contact details and they were talking to others. At one point, they said, there is his brother, but he's not talking. And I knew the boy was in shock.
Yes.
So some people had left by that time. And I spoke to Johnny for a little while. He was emotional. My friend were emotional. And I was saying, oh my God, something is seriously wrong with me. I have no emotion at all.
Okay.
Like I'm doing what I'm doing and I didn't want to cry. So I said goodbye to Johnny and I seen the brother still sitting on the bench with a couple of friends. And he just kept staring into the distance and I tried to talk to him. You know, I knew I had to comfort him. He seen what was happening to his brother. So I said to myself, I cannot let him go home in that state. So I was asking him silly questions, just wanted to make him start talking, to be
Yes.
present.
Yes.
And after a few minutes, he kind of came around and he was chatting in full. His friend rang to inform the parents, I believe. Yeah, and she gave the phone to me, so I spoke briefly to her, and she was very upset. Both parents were very upset, and they said, should we go to Monaghan? And I said, I don't think so because we don't know where he will be taken to.
Yes.
I said, you will be informed once he's in hospital where he is so you can see him.
Yeah.
So that was it. Yeah. And I said, right, we'll go then. I offered them a lift home. I said, would you want me to drive you home?
Yeah.
Because his friends were upset.
Yeah.
And they said no. And they left. We left.
Okay, so like we're after talking loads about the actual rescue, but then how are you coping, Dzintra, when you get home? And how
I
you deal
spoke
with
to
it?
my family about what happened, and that was around maybe 8 or half 8, so it was evening, and I was okay. And then once I went to bed to sleep, I realized that I am counting in my head. When I was not talking to anyone, I didn't have to think too much. I just lie in my bed and count till 30. So I kept repeating and repeating. And
So the
that
30 compressions.
30 compressions, yeah. And I couldn't fall asleep. And that was when I started to realize what had happened and what we did. So yeah, that was not nice night.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah, I didn't sleep too much that night. And the next morning I woke up and I went to work. But I had to go home in the afternoon because I tried to be strong, but I couldn't.
And had you heard anything about the
No,
boy?
no, I hadn't heard anything, and I was waiting for a call from the Gardays, but there was no news for nobody. And yeah, I went home that afternoon.
Still feeling numb, Dzintra?
Yeah.
Very numb.
Oh yeah, yeah. definitely. And maybe 2 days later, I got a text from his father. Thank you for saving my son. That was that was quite late evening, and I was,
This
oh
was
my
the first
God.
you'd heard that he was alive,
Yes.
that he was doing okay, like.
Yeah. When his father sent that message to me, I was delighted. I just like, oh my God, my mood changed just in a split second. I said, he's okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the emotions that flooded you when you got the text. So
I was extremely happy. It's very hard to describe, but just them few days after what had happened, I was trying to stay positive. It was still lovely, beautiful weather. I was outside a lot, but something inside me was sad. Then, once I heard the news that he's off the ventilator, like, I can't even describe the feeling. I just jumped up. I was sitting down. I jumped up and I ran into my home and I said, you know what had happened? I got a message from the father and that he's off the ventilator. So obviously it's positive outcome. So yeah, I was, oh, I can't explain that day. It just changed my mood 100%.
of course. Okay.
It was a relief to me.
Yes.
Even though I don't know how would I feel if the outcome was different,
Yes.
but this just made my day.
Yes.
It absolutely made my day.
To get that call.
Yeah. And I know his father or mother, they were not obliged to send me the text, but for me to know that he was okay was just, oh.
And that they were thinking of you, Sintra, that they really appreciated what you did,
Yeah.
that they witnessed what you did. I think that's so important, that they witnessed what you went through to change the whole outcome.
Yeah.
That's so important.
So, yeah.
And I'd say you were shocked because I suppose the fact he was under the water for that amount of time, you would have really been thinking there would be brain damage or catastrophic brain injury.
I really hope that there is no consequences to that event for him. I really hope so.
And then, I mean, you don't just go from experiencing that to 2 days later getting that news and feeling normal again.
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, it's actually, anytime I talk about it, when people ask about that event, it's actually inside everything. It feels like everything is shaking inside me.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's not a nice feeling.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Okay.
But look, I just have to get on with it. And I really hope that I'll get over it eventually.
Yes. But I mean, that's the 25th of May. We're now at the end of July. You're still processing it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The trauma of it.
Yeah. And even going to the lake, like when we get really nice sunny days, I arrive into the car park. Again, I can hear that there is lots of people on the beach, all that seem used to be lovely noises of shouting and screaming and children playing in the water now gives me a fear.
Those noises that you loved have changed.
Yeah, and I really love these noises because I grew up at the lake. My house was right next to the lake, and we would have lots of children playing, and I loved listening to that.
Yes.
And it used to be the same feeling when I was going to the lake here in Monaghan when children are there playing, but now there is this fear. And then when I see people going in deep without floaties, also I have that fear, but I can't tell everybody you must do this.
I know,
It's
but
up
let's say
to
you're
everyone.
tempted.
I am tempted.
How old are your kids, Sintra?
My two youngest are 16 and 12.
Okay, so has this caused you to have any fear with them now?
Absolutely. I would not let them go to the lake without an adult. I know, like at age 16, of course, they don't want parents around them,
Okay. And would you let them go if they had the floaties without supervision?
No, there is always an adult when my kids go. And from now on, definitely there will be somebody
Yes.
who will be there.
Okay, it's just crazy to think that this young boy now, and by the way, he is 16, am I right?
That's what his brother told me.
Yes, he's a 16-year-old boy. Okay, but it's crazy to think that he's survived, first of all, but he's survived without any serious traumatic injury to the brain.
Yeah.
Well, that all
Let's
comes
hope
down
that-
to the CPR that you and Johnny performed.
Yeah, possibly, yes.
Well, not even possibly, 100%. And the fact that you even saw him that day, Sintra, that you spotted him, and I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm sure other people seen him too. I can only say what I seen, you know.
advice for anybody now after your experience.
Once you go to the lake, you have to be mindful. No matter what age you are, no matter how experienced you are, you should have float tape.
And like when you said you saw the two guys swimming, obviously they were strong swimmers.
Yeah.
When you go through a trauma, we go through different stages. We go through fight or flight, and that's what helps you do everything that you did so well. Then the numbing comes. You talked about it, and then hopefully back to normal. But with the trauma and with the fight or flight and with the numbing comes the emotions of anxiety, depression, sadness, lack of motivation. How have you been?
Well, like I said before, every time I talk about it, it's, I don't know, something is like shivering inside. It's hard to describe. But I'm very busy person, so I
Yes.
don't have too much time to think, and I don't want to be thinking about it too much. You know, I just have to get on with my life because I have my family to look after. You know,
Yes. Have you had anxiety that you haven't had before since?
it did take me time. I was very easy to get annoyed.
Reactive.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it didn't take a lot to make me sad.
Okay. In both ways, with being overstimulated and then being super sad, which is
Yeah.
part of what you go through with trauma. Yeah. Okay. Any other advice with water?
Well,
Sandra?
definitely not to go into the water too deep or not to mess or shout for help if you don't need help.
Yes. Okay. And tell me about when you were calling for help. You said that you felt funny about that.
I did, yeah. I thought them people on the shore, they'll think that I'm not wise at all because I was screaming, hoping that I will be heard.
Yes. Was there any part of you felt that maybe you were wrong?
Oh, yes, at some stages I thought, oh my God, am I okay? Why am I shouting like this? Maybe he's okay. Maybe all is good and me just shouting. If you are in doubt, shout.
Okay. Even regardless of what you think people are going to think.
Yeah, look, if you can save someone's life, doesn't matter. And if you don't have to save anyone's life, that's even better.
Brilliant. I love that.
And then also possibly advise children to go and learn how to do CPR. Yeah.
Well, I mean, your story just highlights how important it is.
Yeah. And you know, not everyone who has done course might be able to do it, but still to have some knowledge, you know, in case it is needed.
After that event, as you know, Sintra, I ran a little award ceremony for yourself and Johnny and for all the other first responders who had helped that day. And I think sometimes people think the first responder is the Sintra or the Johnny, you know, but it's everybody, like everybody has a role to play.
Yeah, I always emphasize it was not only me and Johnny, it's a team of us.
Yes. The people who rang for an
Yeah.
ambulance, the people who controlled the crowd,
Someone who lifted him up to the surface.
the guys who went down and
Yeah.
found him, and the trauma that they're going through.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a team of people, absolutely. We talk about the chain of survival, early access, and you did this screaming for somebody to get an ambulance. And actually, as it happens, my daughter picked up her phone and rang an ambulance. Staff went running for a defib that day. Then early CPR, which you and Johnny jumped into.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just knew that also that once you start, you cannot stop. You have to
Brilliant.
keep going.
Okay, regardless, brilliant.
Yeah.
Then early defib, not having a defib there.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I really hope that we will have it sometime soon.
Are you promoting that at the moment? Or is that something you're doing, or?
Well, I am member of Donor Development Committee, and we have had this question brought up.
Okay.
So we're in process.
Okay, brilliant. Then early access, early CPR, early defibrillator, early ambulance. How long was it before the ambulance arrived, would you think?
Yeah, I think going by what I remember from the phone call, that ambulance is 7 minutes away, ambulance is 4 minutes away. So
It wasn't long, it was like
no,
10
yeah,
to
I'd say
15 minutes.
yeah.
Brilliant. And then obviously the help or the treatment that young boy got in the hospital. So that's the fifth link in the chain of survival. Okay, so you're saying get people trained up. Don't think that the only thing that you can do as a first aider is the CPR. There's lots of different things that the first responders can do.
Yeah.
What are you doing to look after you since Dzintra?
Well, I'm busy. I'm very busy person. So I am still going to the lake. I love swimming, and that is the place where my mind relaxes, my body relaxes. So just do something you like doing.
Yes, something that you love. Okay. And listen, thank you so much. To date, that young boy is out of hospital, am I right?
I believe he is, yes.
He's out of hospital and he's doing really good, Dzintra. Dzintra, thank you so much. You're inspirational, absolutely amazing lady. What you went through was unreal. Thank you so much for giving us the interview. I know that you weren't a lover of having to do podcasting, but I think your message will really resonate with people. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Dzintra. Okay. Dzintra's story reminds us of how quickly an ordinary day can become a life-changing emergency. She went to the lake that day expecting nothing more than a swim with a friend, but when this traumatic event unfolded before her, she trusted her instincts, raised the alarm, and acted immediately. Alongside Johnny and many others who helped at the scene that day, she became part of the chain of survival, which includes calling for help, starting CPR, accessing an available defibrillator and AED, early ambulance, and early post-resuscitation care at the hospital. It's important to remember that no single person did everything. Every person played a part in helping that young boy that day. Providing 30 compressions and giving 2 breaths was paramount in his survival. When we provide CPR, it is done with 30 compressions and 2 breaths, but it's very important that you place your hand in the correct position, which is between the nipple line. You push hard and fast. You allow total recoil. You push at the correct depth, which is 4 centimeters with 2 fingers for a baby, 1 hand and 5 centimeters for a child, and 2 hands and at least 5 to 6 centimeters for an adult. We give 30 compressions and then we deliver 2 breaths. With a drowning victim, give 5 rescue breaths as soon as you find the victim. As you're removing them from the water, make sure that you are considering the possibility of spinal injury also. A big lesson from Dzintra's story is don't be afraid to call for help. She wasn't certain what she had seen, but she trusted her instincts, raised the alarm, and that decision helped to save a life. And when the moment came, Dzintra didn't have time to think about what to do. She simply relied on the skills that she had learnt. Training can't guarantee how well we'll respond in an emergency, but it can give us the confidence to take that first vital step. Respect the water, things can change quickly, and even strong swimmers can get into difficulty. Swimming with others, using a floating device, and knowing our limits are simple steps that can help to save lives. And of course, the impact of an emergency doesn't end when the ambulance leaves. In the days that followed, Dzintra struggled with fear, sleepless nights, and the memories of what had happened. Her story reminds us that first responders and bystanders need support too, and that talking about a traumatic experience is a really important part of healing. I hope this conversation encourages more people to learn how to carry out CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, and to understand how important it is to call for help, to get a defibrillator if there is one nearby. Thank you, Dzintra. Thank you, everybody who helped that day. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you next time on SatNaving Life.